Go back at it again. Today I'm changing the rollers, the upper and the lower rollers on the tracks. This is a KX040-4 Kubota, a 2016 model. So I figured out how to do it without having to take out the grease cert to make the tracks retract to give you more play. There's one bolt that holds the roller in. So this is the one from the other side. It just slides in a little receiver slot in there, and it has a bolt that goes through that clamps this in place. So I had one of the lowers start making a whole bunch of noise. I've got about a little over 800 hours on the machine, and I don't know if you can see, there's a bunch of metal shards coming out of it. So this one was definitely wore out. The rollers are sealed and they have oil inside of them, so they should be more like this, where it's got a little tension on it. It's not real smooth rolling, but there's no play in it and definitely no noise. I'm gonna hook the strap on there now and raise the track up. Alright, we got the roller out. This is that bolt that goes through, and this little piece just clamps together around that pin. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is loosen this choker up, allow the tracks to have that play in it. With that roller missing, it gives me enough play to pull out these bottom rollers. This makes it easy to access the bolts on the inner side. There's 5/8 bolts that come through on each side of the lower rollers. That's what holds it to the frame. Alright, so we're here on the inner side of the rollers. Yeah, a hydraulic line could break, but it won't drop instantly. It will drop pretty fast. I've got a little bit of time to get out of the way. So I made this is just a piece of 3/4 black pipe. I know it's not pretty, it looks like a mud diver took a you-know-what on it, but anyway, it works for a cheater. It's about 4 foot long. So this is the only way I could get these bolts that have been on here for about 4 years, rusting, loose. And then I just use a big 1/2-inch drive ratchet for the rest of it. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to film it, it's the same thing. I'm going to break the rest of these bolts loose. I'll chalk up this right here so it has a space, and I'll be filming when I pull them out. You can see, you can get them out without having to let the grease out of here. Alright, got you zoomed in. So what I'm going to do, the 2 rollers right here, I'm going to chalk up this side to give enough room for the roller to come out, and I'll use the pry bar to give myself enough play to get it out of there. 2 rollers. When we get the new ones, I'll slide them back in there and then move the chalk to the other side. Doesn't matter which way these go, they're the same on both sides. So just put it back in like took the other ones out. That's the other one that was looking like it wouldn't give me too much longer. You can see the oil leaking out of it. That's all real shiny right there. Alright, it's time to put the bolts back in. So I'm going to go down and put the bolts back in on this outer side of the track. Just barely snug them, because I need to make sure that right in here it seats up against that flat, because they give you a little bit of play in that bolt hole, but you want to make sure that this is flush up against the other piece. If not, it can work loose over time. Hard part's done. Getting the bolts loose is the hard part. Alright, I've got the back side snugged up. This side, you see this gap right here? Now make sure that's all the way up against there. This bolt will work loose if you don't have it all the way against it. The gap closed up, it's all against the frame now. Alright, so I'm going to go weld this back up. I'm going to get them close with this cheater because it's easy to use, and then I'll put the torque wrench on it. I'm going to do the same thing on the inside of the tracks. The roller sags down a little bit. You have to push against it so you feel that it's flush, it's not rocking back and forth. Well, that's it. I'll let off on the tension on the tracks, and I'll check to see if the clearance between the roller and the bottom track is good. Should be about a ½ inch. So let me do that, and then I'll be done with the roller change out. Hopefully I'll get another 800 hours out of it. I probably could have went, probably could have just changed one roller, but I figure the rest of them have had the same amount of abuse, so it's better to go ahead and change them all and be done with it. If you let it go too long, it starts wearing other parts out, and it gets costly real quick. So I think it's worth coughing up to $1,200 to get it fixed right. I'll move all this stuff out of the way so I can put the bucket here and lift it up. You gotta lift it up off the ground, and then there's a center point. There's 2 circles somewhere on these tracks that you gotta line up. So it's starting to sprinkle again. This camera is not waterproof. Right in here, see this little grease cert? That's how you expand. That's how you expand the tracks out. I guess that's going to be it for this. Until next time, see you later.